Hello, Magi, and welcome to another episode of Interesting Touhou Facts. This time, I'm gonna follow up the last episode's format and focus on one subject, specifically Chang'e or change or however you say it. In episode 2, I mentioned about a fourth person drinking the Horai elixir named Chang'e. I mentioned she was a goddess slash possible lunarian who drank the elixir, but there's a lot more to this person than you may realize. In fact, those who play Legacy of Lunatic Kingdom, this person here was the cause of the whole bloody incident. You gotta be someone important if a whole game was made because of you. While this video will be dedicated to about Chang'e and how she started the incident, it won't be as long as the Maribel slash Yukari connections video, so that could be a good or bad thing, depending on how you look at it. But yeah, without further ado, let's begin the Interesting Touhou Facts number 27. Number 1. Chang'e is an enigmatic character. Not much is known about her except that she lived on the moon and was the master of the moon rabbits. Keyword was the master. She drank the Horai elixir and became immortal, as expected from that elixir, but was imprisoned on the moon for it. My question is, why would you drink the elixir when Kaguya was exiled because of it? But to be fair, there's no real indication as to who drank it first, Kaguya or Chang'e, so she may not have realized it at first hand. At the same time though, Kaguya did ask Eren to make it first, so it's likely Kaguya was the first person. If that's the case, then Chang'e, you're a dumbass. Today, the moon rabbits sing in unison when pounding Mochi to atone for her sin. We don't know what happened to her until Legacy, when it was revealed that Junko and Hectea had a grudge with her, and they had intended on invading the lunar capital to reach her while she is still in prison. In terms of backstory, she is highly based on the mythological Chang'e, who is the Chinese goddess of the moon. In nearly every story, her husband, Hou Yi, acquires an elixir of immortality and comes home after an absence, only to discover that Chang'e had drank it before she drifts off to the moon. Though the circumstances of her taking the elixir changes with each telling, and to note, Hou Yi, her husband, is also really important for Legacy. We've established that Hou Yi is Chang'e's husband. Not only that, but was also the one who killed Junko's son and shot down the sons, creating Junko and Hectea's grudge. Now I gotta ask, how in the fuck do you shoot down a bloody fucking son? I know this is a story from the past and all and shit, but holy fuck, I'm not for sure if I should be scared or impressed that he could shoot down a bloody son. Not only that, it wasn't just one son, but 9 of them as well. He was eventually killed by Junko. So much for his son shooting slash killing ability there. In Touhou, it is unknown which version of him exists. In one story, he is a loving husband who becomes helpless as Chang'e is forced to drink the elixir. In another, he is a despotic ruler who is forced to stop by consuming the elixir in his place. In yet another, it is her who gives in to the elixir's temptations. They are sometimes known to represent the yin and yang. So let's recap a bit, shall we? So Hou Yi killed Junko's son, which got him killed by Junko. We know about Junko's grudge, but what about Hectea's? How does losing a son come into play for her? Well, when the sons were shot down, it took away the light hell needed to exist, as without a strong light, the darkness of hell would also weaken. However, it mostly seems to be through Junko's influence that her grudge exists. Because she sympathized with Junko, she decided to side with her in Legacy of Lunatic. So now we know Hectea's grudge, but how does that involve Chang'e? She didn't shoot down some bloody sons, it was her husband. So if it wasn't her, why all the hate? My assumption is that since he's dead and they're still pissed, they gotta take it out on someone, and who's better to take it out on than their immortal spouse? I've mentioned this before, but Chang'e is the true master of all the moon rabbits. They pound Mochi to atone for the master's sin of drinking the elixir. Although they are said to pound rice cakes, in reality, they are attempting to recreate the Horai elixir. Because we all know how that turned out for Chang'e and Kaguya. Raisin also seems to serve under Chang'e, as she refers to her as Lady Chang'e, but it's unknown if Chang'e particularly knows Raisin. To sum everything up, it's because of her husband shooting out the sons and killing Junko's sons that caused the grudge both Junko and Hectea had in them. And this grudge was super intense that his wife was the next target, and to do that, they needed to find Chang'e in the lunar capital, which is why they attacked the capital. This in turn forced Sagumi to think of the backup plan of moving the Lunarians to Gensokyo. And with that, we come full circles as to how Legacy came to be. I ain't gonna lie, Chang'e, in my humble opinion, you chose the wrong dude to marry, but that's just me. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed learning about Chang'e and how Legacy came to be, and hopefully we'll learn more about her as time passes by. Come on, Zune, I want some juicy details about the 4th Immortal here. Anyway, like always, this is Magi, and hope you guys enjoyed this episode.